projects, and we used to wonder. And the best way of checking any piece of land is, can any dhaba, any house can get a loan from the bank? They will never give a loan because these are all illegal. They are all on the green belts. This is riparian vegetation. The river should have the shrub, grasses, the trees and everything. Okay, so everybody says population zyada ho gayi. Everybody says that. So it is governance, it is administration. You need to put the human settlements. Once you have structural engineers, you have your experts, you have your geological experts, you have committees who can earmark the land which is safe. Don't come in the way of the river. Don't come in the way of the mountains.
So people, Baba, is essentially saying
hand,
that
you are just Char Dham ka, you take the highway of Char. Yeah, it is encroachment. It is encroachment. Let's be very fair. You cannot blame nature for it. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the entire country that we are having normal rain after 2010. This is normal rain, ma'am. This is normal rain. We've worked on the field for 47 years. This is normal rain. We are saying it is this happened, because the visuals are showing the houses. We are not celebrating the fact that we are having water in our rivers. We are not celebrating the fact that there is greenery has come back.
Celebrating the fact there are lives lost, there are livelihoods lost, there are homes which have been lost, and people, and so much. I get your point. I get your point. I get what you're saying, that it's good for the environment, perhaps so bad for human. But you are saying, People Baba, you are essentially saying that all of this is the work of illegal construction that has happened on this belt. Construction that was done without keeping the rivers, environment and all of that in mind. Dr. Fayaz is also with us. Dr. Fayaz, what is your view?
Actually, it's very unfortunate and sad to see such a precious life is going away into water. But when you look at the process, the cloudburst, the landslide, these have been a natural process over a period of time. In fact, when you look at the landslide, this is one of the very common geological event which happens frequently. But why it is creating problem? When it is so frequent, why it is creating problem? You see, the kind of what you call business model of development, we have started looking at it, what our previous speaker already narrated. That is the biggest problem. I tell you one fact, because when you look at the hilly rivers, they do not have floodplain. They have only riverbed, what you call as hill torrent. And in hill torrent, along the hill torrent, you are, constructing everything. Then what will happen? When a lot of water will come, that is not water alone. It brings a lot of debris. Because when you look at the what you call business model of development, where we are reaching to the highest peak, even you are constructing, doing everything, then you are losing your pristine ecosystem, the grasses, the plants. You are allowing those land masses to come down on you itself. So it is certainly a man-made creation.
You are allowing. You are saying we have allowed for this disaster to happen. This is a man-made disaster. Both of you echoing the same point there. People, Baba, but I remember what you said about Uttarakhand when the floods had happened there. You had very specific reasons why. And you went ahead to essentially say that everything that could go wrong in the environment had gone wrong in Uttarakhand. But if we were to take that argument and say, did it go wrong in Punjab? Did it go wrong in Jammu and Kashmir? What about Himachal Pradesh?
Yeah, it will happen. Don't worry. Next year, again, we'll be talking about the same topic because nobody is talking about encroachment. Just please understand, there is a very basic, simple problem. I've traveled to so many countries abroad. They take care of this thing. ऐसा नहीं है कि वहां पे बारिश नहीं होती. They are also having monsoon. Please remember, this is not a cyclone. This is not a tsunami. This is not a hurricane. This is normal rainfall. It will happen every year. Every year the water will come. Every year the river will be filled with water. When you know that every year this will happen, maybe it has happened a little more this year, but it's been happening for the last 10 years, every year at the same time. July and August, they are the most critical months for our monsoon period. Why are we again allowing people to settle, right? I think this is genocide. This is homicide. This is the encroachment. It's a kind of murder that we are doing. The authority should be held responsible. Why are you allowing something to? अगर एक highway है, there is an expressway. Do you allow people to stand right in middle of the highway or on the side of the highway when there are speeding cars and trucks going on? No, you will not do on a toll road. But why are you doing on the way of the river? This is a river. The river has its own course. There is a floodplain.
You're using very, very strong words there. But a lot of people, Baba, are saying that this is a change in the climate as well. Climate change perhaps also responsible partly for it. You don't agree?
Can we manage our climate? We cannot. It is a bigger thing. It is a bigger issue. There are ocean currents. There is a continental shift going on. There is gravity. There is the entire. It's a very, 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 very huge subject. Let's not discuss climate. We cannot do climate. You and me cannot change the climate of this country. But we can stop stupidity. We can stop this stupidity that we are doing right in the middle of the river. Whether you go to Manali, you go to Kullu, I can name 10,000 projects like that. You are putting the human settlement right on this thing. And then there is this all bandwaja barat about flood relief and, politician going and clicking photographs over there. This is mass murder. How can you allow human habitation? How dare you allow human settlement in the way of the river? Nobody is talking about this. Everybody is talking about the cloudburst. Cloudburst, is it a new phenomenon? Is it an AI generated thing? Is it something which is generated by a few people 5 years ago? It has been there for millennium. It has been there for thousands of years. I have seen it. हम जब छोटे बच्चे थे, we used to go walking on the Char Dham Yatra. We have seen so much this thing. The landslide is happening because we are blasting the mountains. We are doing illegal mining. You go to Uttarakhand, you send your teams to Himachal. You just see number of illegal sand mining. You are changing the course of the river. आप illegal mining कर रहे हैं, आप sand mining कर रहे हैं, you are changing the course of the river, you are encroaching, your engineering is not good of the bridges, and then you blame the river, and then you say, oh, flood हो गया. अरे, this is such a natural thing to happen. Tomorrow you will blame the air, tomorrow you will blame the wind, you will say, no, the air is not good, the air... we are not turning the finger to ourselves, and we are not contemplating, not meditating on the fact that where we are going wrong. That should be the discussion. And the corporator, MP, MLA of that region, they should be held to account. The office, you should call them on television and ask them, why did you allow this thing? How can... Achha, tell me one thing. I have seen it. I can present so many... You are giving Aadhaar cards to people who are right in the middle of the river. You are giving them electricity connection. You are giving them power connection. You are giving them water connection. How can you do it? It is 100% illegal. How can you do any construction on the way of the river? I don't know.
So then, people, Baba and Dr. Fayaz also, because he's been listening for a while now, what are the courts doing on this? What is NGT doing about it? What are the Environment Watch? I mean, all of this clearly happened under their watch as well, right?
Can I
please,
add something
Dr. Fayaz,
to it? Yes, when you look at it, why it is so frequent, why nature is so upset and angry. When you look at it, I will say one word, that ecosystem is losing resilience. When your ecosystem loses resilience, such things become quite frequent. And why it is happening? Because those ecosystems are being, interfered with. You encroach the system. So therefore, the functioning of ecosystem, the ecosystem processing has been lost. So
To the latest news break that is coming in right now. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, has spoken out on India trade with the tariffs on India and US. International trade should continue, but there should be no pressure. Swadeshi should be followed. International trade should happen, but there is no pressure. Pressure is what the RSS chief has said. He also goes on to say, we can make and drink shikanji at home. Why should we drink cold drinks? Whatever is made in our country, make and eat it in the country. So a big Swadeshi push where it's come in from the RSS chief. There is a 3-day conference of the RSS that is taking place in the national capital, and Dr. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, speaking on that. I want to take you through with what he has said, primarily pushing for Swadeshi, make in India, practically stating that this should be read as an advantage. We shouldn't succumb to pressure, and we should be looking at to make in India where our country is concerned. All right, we're going to play that reaction, but first up, allow me to cut across to Aishwarya Paliwal. Aishwarya, it's not clearly as simple as a cold drink analogy. There is a lot more attached to it. But RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, speaking at the RSS conference, which is on for 3 days in the national capital, makes a big pitch for Swadeshi, which is made in India.
Well, definitely, PT, we are now seeing how Mohan Bhagwat very clearly is saying, and this is an endorsement of what the Prime Minister also and the government is also trying to say. They are saying that the consumption of our country is very high. We should now make sure. And the other thing that he said, PT, which is more important, is that international trade is a must. International trade should happen at the behest of what that nation wants. You cannot argue with the other nations in trade. You cannot with the other nations in what you believe in. So this is a direct attack coming in with regards to Mohan Bhagwat. The RSS chief very clearly saying that a boost is required when we speak about India. India understands where it stands at the moment. International trade is important. That's what he also said, but you cannot arm twist other nations. A clear message coming in from the RSS.
All right, I want to quickly get our viewers up to speed with the latest news break that filtered in. Viewers, put this in context, of course, because starting today, India has been slapped by unprecedented tariffs where the United States of America is concerned. There is a 3-day conference of the RSS taking place in the national capital, and you have the RSS chief weighing in on that, making a big pitch for make in India, made in India and consume in India, Swadeshi. But he did give that analogy, when you can drink shikanji at home, why do we need cold drinks? Having said that, the issue broader than that, but the RSS chief making a Swadeshi pitch. More news coming in right now. Top government sources have come in where tariffs are concerned. Communication channels are open between India and US. Positive signals on both sides have to be built upon concerns on both sides. This is coming from top government sources. Impact of tariff not as exaggerated as projected. Of course, no panic or large distress signal. All right, so here's all of that news coming in where the tariffs imposed on India is concerned. We're going to continue to get our viewers the latest. Let's quickly move on to our show. You know it's climate change when it thunders through floods, cloudbursts, drowning cities. When melting glaciers and erratic rains turn rivers into weapons of despair. The deluge, tomorrow's warning, paid for by today's inaction. Climate chaos spares none. Rich, the poor, all drown the same. Add to it our urban decay that we continue to fuel, testing the wrath of nature. Only to see what we forcefully built in its path now be consumed in the wake of a river reclaiming her course. The river remembers its path, sweeping aside concrete and steels like twigs. Floods roar not as accidents but as nature reclaiming what was stolen. Homes, bridges, markets, all dissolve in the fury of waters that once nourished them. A flash flood is not sudden. It's decades of warning ignored, unleashed in an hour. The deluge leaves silence behind, broken only by cries for those missing and those lost. What we call natural disasters are often man-made climate choices. Drop focus on To The Point this evening. All right, viewers, but the focus now continues to be on Vaishno Devi, where 34 people have died in landslides that were triggered by flash floods and a possible cloudburst is what we've been indicated. Rescue efforts are underway as authorities race against time to reach those still trapped. Mind you, viewers, 34 dead till now and counting in Vaishno Devi.
Cloudburst, landslides, flash floods. Nature has turned relentless tormentor in the hills of Jammu and Kashmir. For 4 straight days, the skies haven't stopped opening up. Torrential rains have pounded the region. Flash floods tear through villages. Bridges crumble like paper. Electric poles snap. Towers topple. Several bridges have also collapsed. One crucial collapse in Jammu city, where cars were caught in the rubble. In Katra, disaster struck. Rain-triggered landslide hit along the Mata Vaishno Devi pilgrimage route. Many have lost their lives and several are yet to be rescued. Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the large-scale loss of lives. Flights and trains have been halted or cancelled after heavy deluge. While rescue operations are underway, millions remain cut off. The water level in the Chenab is flowing above the danger mark. The swollen river threatening habitations and banks of Tavi River.
People who are stuck in flood waters are being rescued. Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police, NDRF, SDRF, CRPF and other agencies are working in close coordination, and no stone is being left unturned when it comes to providing relief to the people. But situation is alarming. It continues to rain cats and dogs here in Jammu region.
Jammu and Udhampur have recorded their worst rainfall ever in 24 hours. People living in low-lying areas have been asked to stay extra vigilant and avoid going near water bodies. Deadly floods and landslides in monsoon season are becoming more frequent and severe, with experts blaming a dangerous mix of climate change and rapid unplanned urbanization. The UN has called rising floods and droughts a distress signal of climate breakdown. While the climate experts warn that global warming, combined with reckless construction and destruction of natural defenses, is creating a deadly cocktail. The bigger question is, are we engineering our own disaster? With Sunil G. Bhatt, Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, viewers, 34 lives have been consumed by the devastating landslides that were caused because of incessant erratic rain. A day after the landslide in Vaishno Devi struck, the route to the hilltop shrine of Mata Vaishno Devi has completely been obstructed, but not before taking, like I pointed out, 34 lives. Rescue teams have pulled out bodies from the debris in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district. So far, the death count might just be 34, but indications seem to suggest that it will climb up. 20 others are critically injured and undergoing treatment in different hospitals.
More than 30 people died and several others were injured after a massive landslide struck the Mata Vaishno Devi Yatra track near Ardhakumari in Katra on 26th August. The pilgrimage to the shrine was suspended. When around 3 p.m. on Tuesday, mountain slide literally gave way and stones, boulders and rocks came hurtling down, catching pilgrims unawares. The landslide struck at a point about halfway along the winding 12-kilometer trek from Katra to the shrine. There are two routes up to the shrine. While the yatra had been suspended on the Himkoti trek route since Tuesday morning, it was going on the old route till 1:30 p.m. when authorities decided to suspend it till further orders in view of the torrential rain. And then the tragedy struck. Within hours, the Home Minister posted on social media and arranged for the NDRF team deployment. Overnight rescue operations continued as relatives started to crowd hospitals in Katra looking for their loved ones. Both routes of Mata Vaishno Devi Yatra are yet to be cleared. Disaster relief continues. Bureau Report, India Today.
There's very few visuals are actually coming in from Mata Vaishno Devi, where 34 pilgrims are killed, many of them still missing. The latest that is right now coming in, eyewitnesses have finally spoken out. Like I said, very little visuals because nobody till now, even the NDRF, is having huge issues reaching the area. No warning issued before landslide is a question that the survivors are asking now, claiming no prior warning from authorities. Why wasn't the yatra stopped is a question that is echoing where the survivors are concerned. Those who have loved ones admitted to the hospital, lucky enough to have gotten away with just injuries. 34 dead, viewers. Was it negligence? Is a big question that remains to be answered.
Tragedy has struck over 30 families. We have spoken to two of them right here. They came with full families. Now several of the family members are missing. And behind me is Poonam. She has been crying endlessly. And her own husband at this point of time is missing. And this is where the real tragedy really is. This is also Deepak behind me, who's from Agra. He's lost his elder daughter, just 24 months. He's also looking for his father and daughter, but also at this point of time, hospital trying to tell them to rest assured, but the woman is distraught because her husband is missing. The tragedy is so immense, they're not able to take it.
मैं नीचे उतर के गया था जब कोई नहीं मिला था मुझे जहाँ वो है ना पहाड़ सरका था मुझे कोई नहीं मिला था मैं हवाई लगा रहा था भैया अंकल कोई नहीं आया 1-1.5 घंटे बाद आए थे सब
आप 9 परिवार वालों के साथ आए? कोई ऐसी चेतावनी दी गई थी कि कुछ हो सकता है यहाँ पे कि रोक दी जाए?
कोई नहीं सूचना देती सूचना देते तो हम क्यों आगे बढ़ते
All right, viewers, I just want to quickly take our viewers through the news break that is coming in right now. My colleague Kamaljeet Sandhu has managed to get at least to where the injured have been taken, and the news that we were breaking right now that most of the survivors whose loved ones are still in hospital, who've been able to survive, claim that there was absolutely no one even indicated that there was a warning. The route wasn't stopped for 1.5 hours, nobody came. These are the claims of the survivors who were there. No warning was issued before the landslide. People only came in to help an hour and a half ago, after the landslide took place. A big question needs to be asked about negligence of authority, viewers. If, because of inclement weather, bad weather, if the yatra was stopped in route number 2, why was it allowed to continue through on route number 1 when At one route, you've stopped it because, you know, there was danger to continue the yatra because of inclement weather. While the second route was still open, the landslide took place and taking with it 34